Update: my brother showed me a video of my parents in a family gathering calling me a freeloader who can't live on my own. Despite giving them $6,000 every month, this prompted me to cut all ties with my parents and move into my luxury home. A few days later, they barged into my house with their luggage, but when they walked in, a big surprise awaited them. One sunny afternoon, as we sat in her cozy kitchen drinking tea, she asked the question I dreaded so much. "Anna," she said gently, her kind eyes watching me, "what are your plans after graduation?" I stared at my teacup, tears threatening to spill. I don't know, Aunt Teresa. Mom and Dad won't help me with college. They say there's no money left after Kelly. Teresa was quiet for a moment, then reached across the table, squeezing my hand. "Anna, dear, I have some savings I'd like you to use for college. You're smart as a whip, and I won't let that go to waste." Her words hit me like a wave. Overwhelmed, I burst into tears, throwing my arms around her. "Thank you," I sobbed, "thank you so much, Aunt Teresa." Before I knew it, I was walking across the stage at graduation, diploma in hand. In the audience, Aunt Teresa beamed at me, tears of pride in her eyes. My parents were there too, but they looked awkward rather than proud. That night, as I went through college brochures, Mom came into my room. "Anna, honey," she said, her voice overly sweet, "Cousin Gary has a waitressing job for you. Isn't that exciting?" I took a deep breath. "Actually, Mom, I won't need that job. I'm going to college." Dad appeared in the doorway, frowning. "And how, exactly, do you plan to pay for that?" "Aunt Teresa is helping me," I said, holding my head high. "She's giving me her savings for tuition." Dad's face turned red with anger. "Absolutely not. If Teresa has money to spare, it should go to Kelly. She needs a car for her job next year." "Are you serious?" I snapped. "This is my chance to make something of myself." "Don't be selfish, Anna," Mom added. "Your sister needs that money more." "No," I said, my voice steady. "This is my money now, and I'm using it for college." End of discussion. Home life became unbearable after that. My parents either ignored me or snapped at me over small things. After one terrible argument, I called Aunt Teresa, crying. "Pack your bags, sweetheart," she said. "You're moving in with me." The next day, I packed everything I owned and moved out, watching my childhood home shrink in the rearview mirror. As I arrived at Aunt Teresa's, I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. The summer flew by as I prepared for college. Before long, I was stepping onto the campus of State University, ready to study management. Thanks to my grades and Aunt Teresa's generosity, I was exactly where I had always dreamed of being. On the first day of classes, I felt like I was floating. I sat in my business lecture, soaking in every word, thinking, I made it. I'm really here. Meanwhile, Kelly was starting her senior year. I hadn't heard much from her or my parents since moving out, but I tried not to let it bother me. I was too busy enjoying my new freedom in college life. Then, about a month into the semester, Aunt Teresa called. "Anna, dear," she said, her voice hesitant, "you should sit down for this." My heart pounded as she told me the news. Kelly had dropped out of college. She was pregnant, and the father wasn't who she thought he was. It was a mess. A part of me felt a twisted satisfaction. The golden child had fallen. But mostly, I felt sad for her. Months went by, filled with family drama I heard about from Aunt Teresa. When Kelly's baby was born, a DNA test confirmed her boyfriend was the father, but he only agreed to pay child support. No wedding, no happy ending. Kelly ended up waitressing at Gary's restaurant, the same job my parents had tried to push on me. I graduated from college with top honors and landed a management job at the Gilded Fork, one of the city's best restaurants. My salary was more than I had ever dreamed. I bought Aunt Teresa a new phone with my first paycheck. Her eyes lit up when I handed it to her. "Oh, Anna," she gasped, "this is too much." I just smiled. "Not at all, Aunt Teresa. Let me show you how to use it." Weeks later, my mom called for the first time in years. "Anna, we were hoping you might come over to talk," she said after a long pause. I agreed. That Friday, I found myself on my parents' porch. "Anna," Mom pulled me into a tight hug. Inside, my dad and Kelly sat with Kelly's toddler on her lap. "You look good," Dad said, his voice gruff. "We hear you're doing well." "I am," I nodded. "I'm a manager at the Gilded Fork." Their eyes widened. "That's wonderful, dear," Mom said, glancing at Kelly. "Actually, that's why we wanted to talk. We were hoping you could help Kelly get a job at your restaurant." I looked at Kelly, who wouldn't meet my eyes. After a long moment, I nodded. "I'll see what I can do." No promises. True to my word, I spoke to Mr. Brandon, my boss, about Kelly. To my surprise, he agreed to give her a chance as an administrator. Kelly started the next week, and she surprised me. She was efficient, punctual, and the customers loved her. Slowly, we developed a respectful working relationship. We weren't best friends, but we were family again, in a way. Then, one afternoon, Mr. Brandon called me into his office. Anna, he said, I'm retiring next year. I want you to take over as CEO. My heart pounded. Are you sure? He nodded. You've earned this, Anna. You've made this business flourish. As I left his office, excitement buzzing inside me, I realized something. The quiet girl who was once forgotten had grown into someone no one could ignore. I had exceeded everyone's expectations, even my own.